Hey there, Lincoln here from bullacademy.org. So today is SoFi Day. Happy SoFi Day to all of you out there watching. Today is a day that IPOE, the SPAC that took SoFi public, becomes SoFi, SOFI, trading on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange on the public stock market. So if you've been invested in IPOE for the last, 5 months since January 7th, when the announcement was made, then congratulations to you, because today your stock, your IPOE stock, becomes SoFi. Good morning to all of you out there. Mike, I see you. If you have any comments, leave it in the live chat and we'll get to it. But I just want to celebrate with all of you today, just real quickly, because this is a big day for SPACs across the board, and for SoFi itself, and for IPOE, Jamal Palipatia, Social Capital, and all of us shareholders who have been invested in this company since the announcement. And of course, as you know, I am extremely bullish in this company. I'm a long-term investor in SoFi. I've been using this since 2019, so I am very excited. I have 4,000 shares, so today my 4,000 shares in IPOE becomes 4,000 shares in SoFi, and the stock has been going up pretty nicely this morning. So we're going to watch the opening bell. Not every company gets to have this huge ceremony, so it's a big deal for SoFi to be ringing the Nasdaq bell. Not every SPAC does this, but SoFi is a special case. They have been one of the outliers, right? People say that SPACs are a bunch of trash, but in everything, there's going to be trash, but then there's going to be the outliers like SoFi, who are legitimate companies that are going to do big things in the future and have already done big things and will become profitable this year, EBITDA profitable. And yeah, so I'm excited. Let's watch this ceremony with Anthony Noto, the CEO, ringing the Nasdaq bell from their headquarters in San Francisco. So this will be about 8 minutes long. I believe that's how long it is. And we'll just go through the last few minutes is just a bunch of clapping, but we'll just go through it and I'll come back and we can look at the stock, see how it's going, see how people are feeling. And yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on SoFi, and let's hop in. Give me 1 second. Let me do picture in picture. Is that loud enough? Hope it is. Let me know if you guys can't hear it, but let's get to the spot. So it's right here. Here we go.
Good morning. I'm Mariah Argueta, Managing Director for New Listings and Capital Markets at Nasdaq. I'm excited to be here this morning at SoFi's headquarters in San Francisco, California, and pleased to welcome Nasdaq's Vice President, Jack Castle, who will be hosting this morning's opening bell ceremony.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's opening bell ceremony. It is my great pleasure to be here this morning to celebrate SoFi listing on Nasdaq on the Global Select Market under the ticker symbol SOFI. Congratulations. I would like to extend a warm Nasdaq welcome to SoFi CEO Anthony Noto and all of those that are joining us both from SoFi headquarters here in San Francisco and virtually around the world as we get set to celebrate this major milestone as SoFi embarks on its journey as a publicly traded company. We are so happy to have SoFi join the Nasdaq family. SoFi is a mission-driven company founded in 2011 whose #1 goal is to help its members get their money right. SoFi provides modern financial products and services that help people borrow, save, spend, invest, and protect their money better so they can achieve financial independence and realize their ambitions, from owning a home to saving for retirement to paying off their student loans and so much more. With over 2 million members, SoFi has funded more than $50 billion in loans, helped its members pay off more than $22 billion in debt, and continues to innovate in order to provide its members with the tools they need to take control of their financial future. Anthony, congratulations again to you and the entire SoFi team. Nasdaq is proud to be your partner, and we look forward to supporting your mission as a Nasdaq-listed company. And now I'll turn it over to Anthony Noto for further remarks.
Thank you, Jack. At SoFi, our mission is to help our members achieve financial independence to realize their ambitions. That's about more than just saving or investing or budgeting. It's about providing people with the tools to borrow, save, spend, invest, earn, and protect their money all on one mobile app to get their money right. It's about strengthening their personal financial infrastructure to live the life they want for themselves and for their family. Getting your money right requires more than a financial services provider. It requires a partner that is there for every major financial decision in our members' life and all the days in between. A new generation raised online, made resilient by financial crises, but fundamentally optimistic about their futures, deserve a lifelong financial partner that can help them realize their aspirations. That's why at SoFi, our team has worked tirelessly to provide an ecosystem of products, rewards, and membership benefits that work together to help our millions of members get their money right. Building on our digital-first platform, SoFi is the only company providing a comprehensive suite of financial products all in one app. We offer everything from investing in fractional shares, robo-accounts, and cryptocurrency to student loan refinancing, personal loans, mortgages, and a credit card that helps you reduce your debt, and most recently, 2-day early paycheck into your SoFi Money account. We have and we will continue to work to meet the broadest array of our members' needs throughout each financial milestone in their lives. And as we become a publicly traded company, we look forward to leveraging the power of the public markets to fuel accelerated growth on behalf of our members. I want to use this opportunity to thank our incredible team, our shareholders, and the members who show us every day what it means to get your money right. Thanks to each of you, today we take our greatest step yet forward in fulfilling our mission and helping more people achieve financial independence.
They're going to take pictures now and yeah, for a little bit, and then they're going to ring the bell. So stay tuned to see that. And this all happened at 9:30 a.m. this morning because that's when the Nasdaq opens. So this is the opening bell. So of course we're a little bit late, but it's always good to see it. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you're interested in seeing more videos on SoFi and more analysis on stocks and other SPACs. So stay tuned, subscribe, comment, and leave your chats in the live chats. Almost there. There we go. Marcus, you're the SoFi CEO. Okay, I see you. Happy SoFi Day. And I think the rest of it is just clapping, but let's see how long this goes. I think it's only a minute more. And that's it. So now let's look at the stock. So congratulations to all the IPOE investors out there. Let's just take a look at what IPOE was on Friday before the market closed. It was at $20.15. And that's up from where we started back in, well, December. But on the announcement day, we were at $12 and then shot up to $19 per share. I have 4,000 shares, an average of about $18 per share. So I got in a little bit later, but I'm still happy I was able to buy the dips. I was able to buy down here. And now we're at SoFi. And today we're up 6.7%. So if you were hoping that the stock would just plummet today, because for some reason that's what you expect when the SPAC changes over from this, or when it delists, when it de-SPACs, you might be a little bit disappointed because you can't tell the future. All you can do is buy and hold, right? Dollar cost average in. So I've always laughed at people who thought, oh, I'm gonna just wait until it crashes on the merger day, on the day that the stock changes over from the SPAC to the actual company's stock. You can't tell the future, right? That's why I say I laugh, because people try to act like you can predict what's gonna happen. Not all that SPACs is the same. Not every stock is going to act the same. So the best thing you can do is have a plan and stick to it, right? If you believe that you're going to buy the crash and that's your thing and it doesn't happen, then stick to that. If it doesn't crash, then stick to that. But I'm kidding. What I would say the best thing to do is just to buy when you have the money and you believe that it's at a good valuation, and then keep buying in over time. Just dollar cost averaging in. So I bought in at 18. I bought in at 20. I bought in at 15, 16, 14, right? And I was able to acquire a whole bunch of stocks, about a whole bunch of shares when the stock crashed back in March and April. So that's what I prefer doing. So let's just look at this. We were up to like $22 this morning before the market opened, and we got pretty close to that, and then we fell back down to 20.58, and now we're up back to 21.59. So we're trading pretty well today. And of course, this doesn't really matter that much. What matters is what happens over the long term. What happens later this year once they release their Q2 earnings and their Q3 and their Q4 earnings. And we can see if they're hitting their goals, right? They plan to, I believe it's 3 million subscribers this year that they plan to get. And they plan to become adjusted EBITDA profitable this year, right? So if they can do that, hitting $27 million in adjusted EBITDA profits, that's going to be a big deal. Right, their first time being profitable for the whole year. So if that happens and people buy this stock fundamentally, then the stock should only go up from there, right? So I'm gonna keep buying this. I hope to. I have a plan, not really a plan, but I just hope to continue to buy into it as it dips, as it goes up, just dollar cost averaging in over the next year, and hopefully get to 5,000 shares, because I believe that this company is going to eventually become a $100 billion company and beyond that in the next 10 years. And I want to be well positioned to benefit from the appreciation of the value of this asset, as I always say here, because on this channel, we practice the bull mentality. The bull mentality is that we know what we invest in, we understand what we invest in, we believe in what we invest in, and we hold for the long term, because that's how we build wealth in this country. That's how we give ourselves the best chance of success on the stock market. That's exactly what I'm doing here with SoFi. If we look at their investor presentation real quick, we can see their expectations for growing in the future. So let's just slide through here real quick. We'll make this real quick so I can just show you what I'm looking forward to. And oh, wow, this is a long deck. Okay, so they've been growing. They're just able to net revenues. In 2020, they grew by 38%. In 2021, they expect to grow by 58%. I expect that they can do that because in 2019, they grew it by 87% over 2018, right? So they have shown that they can do high growth. And they've continued to do that. In 2020, it wasn't that great because we had a pandemic. But in 2021, we're expecting 58%, getting to $980 million in adjusted EBITDA or in adjusted net revenue. So top level. And that should get us to, if we can do 3% margins, EBITDA margins, that should get us to $27 million in adjusted EBITDA profits this year, right? So that's what we're looking forward to. And in the next, in 2022, they expect to grow that to about 53% to $1.5 billion in adjusted net revenues, which will get us to $254 million in profits, adjusted profits, right? So that's about 10x growth over their 2021 projected net profitabilities, right? Or profitabilities. So there is great potential here. 2025, we're expecting $1.1 billion in profits, adjusted EBITDA profits. And that's what I'm looking forward to. That's why I'm so bullish on this company. If they can actually meet these goals, which I have no doubt that they can, given what they've done in the past, how fast they've grown, and their ability to continue to introduce new and unique products and build a top of their funnel so they can drive more customers to their high margin products like their student loan refinance, their car loan refinance, their home mortgages, of which 65% of their customers in 2020 came from existing SoFi members. That's why the membership is such an important deal to this company, because when they acquire more members through their financial services, such as SoFi Relay, SoFi Money, SoFi Invest, right? If they can acquire more members in top of their funnel, they can upsell more of their high margin products down the funnel, right? Free revenue. It lowers their customer acquisition costs and increase the lifetime value of their customers because they've been able to vertically integrate centralized services. And that's why they're going to continue to grow their revenues and become more and more profitable in the future. So that's what I'm betting on. I hope that you are all bullish out there. If you're watching this, I expect that everyone has done their due diligence. But if you haven't, of course, I will be here covering SoFi down the road. So stay tuned. Like I said, I've been bullish on SoFi for a long time, and I will continue to cover them. We've done so many videos on them. Let's just take a quick look at all the videos just in case you haven't seen them, so that you can go back and watch them too, if you're interested in that. So let's just do a quick search on our filter here, SoFi. In case you're interested, we've done videos 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos and some live streams on SoFi, and of course IPOE. So I guess that wasn't a good search. But if you don't know what SoFi is, go watch this video. I've covered it very clearly and gone through a deep dive of why Chamath Palihapitiya and Social Capital took this specific company public, why Chamath is so bullish on SoFi. And if you've been hearing all the bad talk, oh, you guys can't see that. Let me just get back to picture in picture. So I was just showing you right here that we've done all these videos on SoFi. And if you haven't seen them, you can go watch them. But real quick, if you want to deep dive into SoFi and IPOE's merger, then you should go watch this video. I explained why Chamath and team took SoFi specifically public. And I was saying that if you've been hearing a bunch of the bad talk about Chamath's record, this guy is one of the top venture capitalists out there. So he might be comparing SoFi's his SPAC returns to the S&P 500 because he's talking about the public markets. But if you want to talk about his private record, he's one of the top venture capitalists out there, one of the most efficient. So he knows how to pick them. He knows how to pick good companies. So if you're interested in that, we've done many videos on that. If you don't know what SPACs are, we've done videos on that too. SPAC warrants. If you've been investing in IPOE SPAC warrants, then those IPOEWs become SOFIW, SOFIWs. So we've covered warrants in many videos. We have the top video explaining warrants. If you haven't seen that, this one right here, go watch that. So that's it. That's really all I have for you. Let me just read some live chats and then we can call it a day for now. And I can get back to my morning. So let's just see. Oh, there's an interview from Anthony Noto on CNBC. Let's see that. Let me just Google, look for that real quick. Let's check Twitter first. Maybe they have it there, since that's what who said that? Brendan said that. So thank you, Brendan. Let's just check out, see if we can find that interview on CNBC. Maybe they have it. Let me go to YouTube. Anthony Noto, CNBC, SoFi. If it's not here, if I can't find it right now, I can find it later and we can watch it later. But yeah, I don't see it. Oh, as well. I'll look for it later and we can watch that together later. But let's see. So Caesar says happy SoFi Day. Myram says yes, anytime now. And Caesar says, was the merger one IPOE equals 1.77 SoFi? No, it's one for one. If you have one share of IPOE, you have one share of SoFi. So I've been doing lots of videos on SoFi recently, but I've covered that in our SPAC video. So if you go to bullacademy.org and search SPAC, you can find our video explaining SPACs right here and learn about how SPACs work. When there's a SPAC, you have one share of the SPAC that becomes one share of the company once the merger is complete. So that's how that works. And of course, there's more explanations on why SPACs are such a good deal for investors, public investors. So let's see. Aaron says, so fine. Yep, SoFi is fine. And Alan says he has 3,000 shares at $13, 13.9. Wow, I envy you, Alan. Great work on that. Wow. If I could have gotten in at $13.90, I would have had so many shares, like maybe double what I have now. But congrats to you, Alan, and everyone else out there. Let me know how many shares you all have. I love to see how we're doing here. Let's go back to, yeah, we're still sitting flat. People were expecting this to flop like the other SPACs, but we got the pop here, the IPO pop for SoFi. If you don't know what IPO pop is, on the day of a listing on the market, people get very hyped up, and there's lots of news coverage of the company, and of course CNBC and NBC, and everyone's covering the IPO, right? The listing. So investors see that and they go in to buy it, and so the stock pops. The price goes up because there's greater demand on that day, right? And that's what happens a lot in traditional IPOs, which is bad for retail investors because we can't get in on the ground floor of traditional IPOs. This is why SPACs are great for us, because we can buy in at $10 per share before the company actually lists on the market as SoFi. Because once it actually does that, then you see what happens. We see that it pops, right? It's up 5%. So right there, people who are buying today are paying 5% more than we had to when it was still a SPAC. Or they're paying more than double because we got in at $10 per share, right? We had a chance to get in at $10 per share. So people who haven't bought in until now, they're buying for more than 100% what they could have. Well, we all had a chance to during the SPAC deal in between January 7th and now, right? So that's the value of SPACs for retail investors. We get to participate in the appreciation of these assets. So, Alan says resistance against the shorts, keep buying. Yes, I've been hearing a lot about shorts being way too levered on this stock, borrowing way more than than they should. So some people are saying there might be a short squeeze soon. So I don't know. I don't look into that stuff too much, but that's what I'm hearing. If it happens, great. I'll be happy about that. If it doesn't, then whatever. Doesn't really matter too much, as long as SoFi continues to execute and delivers on their promises to their customers. This weekend I did a video explaining what I believe is the greatest risk to SoFi's business. And the idea here is that SoFi offers all these services, and they do a lot of them well. But the risk is that over time, if they continue to offer more and more services and not make sure that they are all done well and streamlined and integrated well, that can start to cause problems, because customers will start to see the bugs, the lack of consistency and fragmentation in the app, and that will cause them to start to think that SoFi isn't well done, and they will start to leave to find more concentrated, more focused apps, like one app for just their banking needs, another app for their mortgage, another app for their student loan, right? Trying to pretty much decouple all the services that SoFi offers. So SoFi is great in that it's a one-stop shop, but if they can't manage that, if they can't maintain that well, then the company could fail to meet its high projections, right? So I don't think that's going to happen. I think that this company that has great management, has great leadership, they know what they're doing, but that's just a risk that we have to be aware of. So if you want to learn more about my thought process on that, go watch that video. It's about 16 minutes long, 17 minutes long. So I think it's worth to watch. Let me see some more live chat. And of course, if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to hit the like button for me. I see all of you out there in live chat. You all have not hit the like button yet. I'm calling you all out. Hit the like button so I know that you enjoy this and I can continue to do this, because if you don't, YouTube won't let me know it's good and they won't share it. So do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe. So Caesar says, oh, perfect. Thank you, Lincoln. Yep, that's right. 1 for 1. And Alan says, in 30 days, going to be PIPE. What do you think of shareholder option on the PIPE? I think that's really short term, Alan. I think whatever happens, once the lockup period ends and some PIPE investors liquidate and I think it was 180 days, so 6 months, the private investors get to liquidate their stocks. They get to share it. They get to sell if they want, so they can get some liquidity. That's fine. That's what happens in all listings, because people want to make some money from their long time investment. They've been investing in this company since way back before even all of us learned that they were going public, right? So it's fair that they want to sell some of the shares so they can get some money to invest in whatever else they want to invest in, their own business, into real estate, into their college, their children's college fund, right? That's how the market works. So if you're really focused on the short term, then yeah, you care about that. But if you're focused on 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, what SoFi can do, it doesn't matter to you what these lockup periods do today, right? So just be patient, right? Practice the bull mentality. If you don't know what a bull mentality is, go to bullmentality.com and you can find out. Let me read some more live chats. And Caesar says, can't wait for bigger returns long term. Yes, we're gonna be. I'm like I said, I'm looking for big returns. That's why I go big, right? That's why I only have a few companies in my portfolio, because I invest heavily in a few companies and hope that they make me big returns so that I can retire early, right? That's the goal. So I'm looking for 10x in the next 5 to 10 years. And I think that that's well within range for SoFi. It's just looking at their projections. Let's read some more. Ultra said, what's your target? Yeah, I just said that 10. I said 10x in the next 5 to 10 years. That's really all I'm looking for. I think that they can do a lot more than that, but I'm just conservative, just to make sure that I am not overpromising myself and being realistic in my own goals. I'm looking for 10x in the next 10 years. And again, I think that is pretty conservative for this company. Abin says, great stuff. Short sellers really starting to irritate. Yeah, they're a little irritating, but hey, that's the market. It's part of the game. You just gotta know how it works. And if you don't know how short selling works, again, of course, we've covered that too. Short selling explained. That's what we do on this channel. We explain concepts, investing concepts, break them down so that you can all understand them, because these things are a little complicated. But if you can just understand the basics of them, that gets you all you need to be able to invest in the stock market safely. So we've also done a case study on short reports, right? When short sellers go out and do these reports on companies that they believe are going to go down in the short term. So yeah, go check that out if you're interested in that. Let's see some more live chat comments. We have, is now another entry point for the long? Yep, I believe so. This stock price, if I've said this many times, I think that if SoFi had went through the traditional IPO route, they would have popped just like this. So they would have popped, I don't know, 40, 50, maybe even 100% on IPO day because of all the hype they would have gotten, right? Like Robinhood. Robinhood is going to get lots of hype. Lemonade and Airbnb, right? They're in that league, right? They're one of the biggest. They were on CNBC's top 50 disruptors list for 5 years in a row, right? So they are one of the unicorns from Silicon Valley. Excuse me. They are a Silicon Valley unicorn. So they would have gotten all the hype that all those other unicorns get, right? Or like Facebook, right? Uber, Lyft. They're in that league. So this would have popped much more, in my opinion, than it has today, because people are still a little bit wary of SPACs, right? They still don't understand them. But if you once this over the long term, this really won't matter. This little pop won't really matter. And I think that, like I said, 10x in 5 to 10 years. That's my goal. So let's see. Alan says, which stock are you bullish on? I like CCIV. Yep, I would do a portfolio review soon. I haven't done that in a while because those take a lot of work. So if you're interested in that, do let me know, like, subscribe, and I will be doing a portfolio review within hopefully the next month. And Prad says it will catch up to Square and PayPal. So Square makes lots of money. They are doing very well. But Square, we can look at Square, how they've been doing over the last 5 years. They were trading at $9 per share in 2016. Today, they're at $220 per share, right? And SoFi, and let's see, what's their Square revenues history? So Square makes, like I said, they make lots of money already. In 2014, they did $850 million. In 2015, they were doing $1.2 billion. And 2017, $2.2 billion. So just about double from 2015. And they've been growing recently at, what is this? 48%, 42%, 100% growth rate over their revenues year over year. So sorry, you guys can't see that. Let me just zoom in real quick. So Square's growing very fast, right? 48%, 42%, 101%, right? 156%. So over the last 12 months, that was. So yeah, they're a fast growth company. If SoFi can keep growing as fast as them and even faster, I believe that SoFi is growing similarly fast. So they were doing what? Here we're 87, 38, 58, 53, right? So Square was doing 48, 42, and then 101. Of course, last year was a great year for them. Apparently, I'm not sure why, but it turned out to be very good for them. Maybe because of Cash App and that continued growth. But yeah, if SoFi can continue to do that too, then they will also grow similarly to something like Square, right? So like I said, they went from $9 in 2016 to now 220. That's what? 20x? Or sorry, 200x, not 20x. So no, sorry, I can't do math right now for some reason. 20x. So I'm looking for 10x in 5 to 10 years on SoFi, and Square did 20x in 5 years, right? So people might say, well, Lincoln, you had 2020, which was a crazy year, pandemic and whatnot. And then people also said the same thing in 2018, to 2010. Oh, crazy year and growth is crazy, right? But it depends on where you buy, what your perspective is, what companies you're invested in, how fast are they growing, what their projections are. Can they actually hit those marks? So even though 2020 was an anomaly, there's always going to be anomalies. There's always going to be a great year for these companies, and there's going to be bad years, right? So doesn't matter what happened in the past, but what matters is what you believe the company can do in the future. And I believe that SoFi is going to continue to grow as they've been growing and continue to become more and more profitable as we see projected here. And they're on track to meet this number, $27 million in profitability this year. So I have full confidence that they can do this, right? And let's see, so far, Square's revenue. So in 2020, Square did $9 billion, right? That's a lot bigger, a lot more than SoFi is expecting to do in this year alone. So this year they're expecting to do 980. In 2025, they're expecting to do 3.6 billion. So not too far behind. And if they can continue to grow at 30%, they can reach that 9 billion in maybe 2028, 2030, right? And 10 billion and so forth down the road. And if you give them just a 10x multiple on that, and they're a software company, right? One of the Silicon Valley unicorns, and you give them 10x multiples alone, if they can hit, say, $10 billion in revenues in 2030, 2028, whatever, they become a $100 billion company, or if you only give them a 10x multiple. Of course, they're a fast growth company, so I give them 15x to 21x around there. So on their revenues, so they should become a $100 billion company in pretty good time in the next decade, which is my goal. So I hope that answered your question. Let's see. What other questions do you have? Don't forget to hit the like button if you're interested. If you're enjoying this, I do have to hop off soon. I have to get to work. But let's read some more comments. So that question was from Prad. Steven says, do you think the fund managers that track the Nasdaq have bought into SoFi already? I think that any investor, any institutional investor who is worth their salt is going to get into this company in due time. We already have at least 40%, around 45% institutional investors, probably more given that there's a PIPE deal that was a part of this merger. So institutional investors are already buying into this company. They've been buying since the announcement, since before that, right? Before we even found out. So any SPAC that goes public is going to have institutional investors because they have to. That's how they raise their money in their IPO. That's SPACs go through a traditional IPO first, and then they come to us and tell us, hey, invest in us. And then the merger happens, and then you become shareholders of the actual company. So there's already institutional investors. There's going to be more of them as SoFi continues to hit their marks. If they become profitable this year, everyone's going to be talking about it. Oh, Jim Cramer's going to be talking about it too. He loves SoFi. He loves Anthony Noto. So he's going to be talking about that too, right? And they're going to talk about all the how profitable this company is, how they're going to continue to grow and become more profitable. So there's only more great catalysts for this company. More news coverage is going to come down the road as they become more and more profitable and continue to grow fast. So let's see. What are you all saying here? So that question was from Steven, and Alan says, we need Kathy Wood to invest her ARK investment money. This would fit perfectly into her fund. She invests, I believe she's in Square, and she just did their big ideas, their annual big idea memo, and they talked about digital wallets and fintech taking over traditional banks. So SoFi is a leader in this space. It would just make sense for ARK Invest to invest in this. This is part of their existing investments, right? This is a similar company to companies that they're investing in already. So, and it's high growth, meets the criteria of ARK Invest. So I would be highly surprised if they did not pick this up. Actually, that was IPOB. They invested heavily in IPOB, which I covered previously. So if you haven't seen that, let me just show you the video. IPOB. So ARK bought IPOB, which was another one of Chamov's SPACs. So, and I believe I'm more bullish on SoFi than I am on Open Door, which I also have 1,000 shares in. So I will be surprised if ARK Invest does not buy into SoFi. So let's see, what other questions do you have? Renato says, can you calculate taking into account the charter? I have no idea what's going to happen with the bank charter, right? We I don't think SoFi has really talked about that too much because it's not done yet, right? They're buying a bank right now, and they're going through that deal. They hope to get their bank charter, but it's not a done deal. So I don't think they're talking too much about it because anything can happen. They can lose out on that bank charter. They can the SEC SEC, whoever the regulator is, can say, hey, we don't trust you. We don't think you can be an actual bank, so you don't get a bank charter. You have to just keep working with your partners, right? And keep getting those low margins on those products. But if this bank charter comes through, it's going to be a huge deal for SoFi. Most of their money comes through. Most of the revenue comes through their lending products, their student loans, their car refinance, their home mortgages, their personal loans. All of those things have to go through their banking partners, right? They have to pay a middleman to make that work. But once SoFi becomes its own bank, they can just cut that middleman out. They keep all they keep their margins. They keep all of their profits. No sharing anymore, right? And they get to also offer lower interest rates, lower cost to their customers, which means that they'll be providing a better product to their customers, which means that their customers will be even more loyal to them and tell their friends about it, right? Bringing in more customers, increasing their membership, and then also in that same process, increasing their lifetime value of their customers while decreasing the customer acquisition costs of their products, which means freer and freer or cheaper and cheaper revenues over time. So the bank charter is going to be a very big deal once this comes through. If it comes through, there's a high chance it will come through, but of course there's a non-zero chance that it doesn't come through, right? There is a chance that it could fall apart, but they already got preliminary approval, and they're going through now to buy an actual bank, and we've covered that in the past. Let me see if I can find that video for you too. And let's see, did I have it here? I thought I did a video on them. Yeah, it's here somewhere, but if you look it up on our channel, you can find it. So they're buying a bank, and we've covered it. Oh, there it is. SoFi becoming a bank. So, yeah, I think that the bank charter is gonna be a big deal. So I haven't really factored that in, but once we actually get that done, we can start to actually see the numbers. But without the bank charter, SoFi is still a very good company. So then we have Steven. Cheers. Well said. Yes. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do like it, subscribe, and comment your thoughts in the actual comments so that YouTube knows that you all enjoyed this. And one more time, do like it. I see all of you in the live chat, but you haven't liked the video yet. Please do like it, because live streams don't usually perform as well on YouTube, but I want to make these work because they're a lot of fun. I love to engage with all of you. But if YouTube doesn't like it because it's not liked, then I can't keep doing them. So that's why I am asking you guys so much, because my live streams don't perform as well as my actual video. If I just recorded this myself and then published it, YouTube would have done a lot better, and YouTube would have shared it a lot more. So yeah, so do me a favor, do like, share, and subscribe, comment your thoughts. Let me know how many shares you have in SoFi IPOE, and if you've been investing in IPOE. And again, congratulations to all of you long-term investors out there who are investing in this company for long term and believe in it. And if you're a trader, I hope that has worked out for you. And everyone in our Discord channel, we have some traders in there, some swing traders, and I'm sure that they've done very well if they got in before the announcement of IPOE. I know there's one of our investors in there, Robert, who is probably killing it right now because he usually gets in early on SPACs, and then he holds them through the merger or before the merger. So congratulations to everyone who bought into IPOE pretty much. And for myself, again, I'm very bullish on this company. I'm going to continue to hold it. I've done many videos on this, so if you haven't seen those, you want to learn more about IPOE and SoFi, the SPACs, the warrants, and all of that, we've covered that on bullacademy.org. Go watch our videos, learn how to invest, learn what all these concepts mean, and of course, subscribe and comment, always like. And if you want to support the channel financially, join us over at patreon.bullacademy.org. You will be able to engage in our Discord channel where we share knowledge, discuss the stock market in real time, share news, rumors, and on new deals so that we can all get in early, do our own research, come back, collaborate, and make better investment decisions together. That's how we got in early on IPOE, on IPOE, CCIV, Lucid Motors, IPOB, and SBE, ChargePoint, and so many other deals, right? So that's the value of the community, just being able to collaborate and, of course, get through the bad times together, sharing how we're all feeling, and making sure that we're supporting each other through those bad times, because it's hard, right? It's an emotional game. So I hope that if you're interested in all of that I will see you over at patreon.bullacademy.org. I'm Lincoln with bullacademy.org. Thank you again, and have a great day.